Hi everyone, welcome to my home. Welcome to Krannert Art Museum Yoga. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for taking time out of your day. So important. I found that I'm actually spending more time on the mat with this gift of time. So maybe you've got goals in your practice. I know I've been working on my splits, on my handstands, on my back bends. So maybe thinking in terms of what your goals are for this time. You can write them out. Kind of having a more clear direction in terms of the practice and what you want to get out of this time. We can spend a lot of time in the land of negativity, but this can also be a really powerful time to create some real change in our life. So you're always welcome to reach out to me, Jodi Adams. I teach locally in Urbana. BlueSkiesYoga.net is my website, and you can find me there, find my contact information. But I want to thank Krannert Art Museum for always being open to hosting this. It's been a really great opportunity to keep connected with my students, so thank you. Today we're going to use a strap. I like to use a scarf. You can use a long sleeve shirt if you want. You can use anything that offers just a bit more spaciousness in the body. You'll want a couple of blocks. Amara Yoga and Arts in Urbana, they're doing a prop sale. They're selling blocks. It's a whole package, blocks, a mat, blanket, and a strap. So take advantage of that while they still have supplies. And then I always like to have a blanket as well. So you can make it any kind of blanket. And again, this is just a Mexican blanket. You can get these for a deal at yogaaccessories.com as well. So an invitation to stand. Maybe you've been sitting all morning. Let's take time to stand in the body, to open up, especially the front of the body. If you're sitting all day, you might notice that you're compressed in the body, maybe collapsed in the posture. So today we're going to work on really opening up the front of the body, making those adjustments as you stand, thinking about that awareness in the front of the body. You can spread toes. You can rock forward and back from toes to heels, bending knees a little bit. Bring hands to the hips, maybe circling hips. Just beginning to notice. Just beginning the practice. Moving the rib cage around the spine. Moving to the shoulders. Waking things up. Arms alongside, palms facing forward, almost like you're pressing into an invisible wall, so there's a little bit of good tension, not bad tension. Moment to close the eyes or soften the gaze, whatever feels safe for you. Finding mountain pose, strong and stable, connected. Moment to breathe with a deeper awareness. See what's most alive in you, what needs to be heard. And ask yourself what you need out of this practice. What can you do to support yourself, to nurture yourself? Once you have something in mind, bringing palms together at the heart, sealing that intention within. Breathing. Let's take a cleansing breath in through the nose. Open the mouth to exhale. Audibly or not, you can constrict the back of the throat. Inhale. Exhale, release. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. Open the eyes with a soft gaze if you haven't already. And we're going to move into more breath. It's called the breath of joy, incorporating a little bit of movement with this. So I'm going to show you what this looks like, and then we're going to do it together. So again, just watching, I'm standing in my mountain pose. As I take a deep inhalation, I'm sweeping my arms up, fingertips skyward, maybe the gaze skyward, and then as I exhale, it's that beautiful release as I bend knees and sweep the arms down and back. And again, I'm constricting more the back of the throat, so it gives that powerful rush of air. That constriction offers a little bit of heat. So connect to the breath, take a deep inhalation. We're gonna do this a few times. Exhale. Deep inhalation, releasing. Great way to get tension out of the body. Every inhalation, joyful. Every exhalation, powerful. One more time like that. And then back through standing. Maybe the stance is a little wider. You can come into hip distance or wider. I'm just starting to twist a little from side to side. Keep the knees safe. Keep the joints safe. You can even pivot on the heel, the foot of the direction that you're turning towards, if that's kinder on the knee joints. You can keep the knees kind of soft and just move the torso. About energizing the body with these movements. Waking up the spine, waking up the core, waking up the breath. Coming back through your center. Mountain pose once again. Arms down alongside, taking some purposeful rolls through shoulders, up, back, and down. Noticing tension in the shoulders. You can start to really exaggerate that movement. And one more time, rolling through shoulders, up, back, and down. And we are going to use the strap right away, so make sure you have that. Again, I'm just using a scarf. You can use pretty much anything. So we're going to start with the wrists, the hands at about shoulder width, maybe a little wider. Body's in mountain pose. As you start to draw the strap up overhead, making sure that we don't release the tailbone back and stick the chest forward, but we're maintaining that mountain pose position. What we need to do to adjust the body is just in the arms as you maybe widen the hold. You can think about punching the knuckles skyward, and that keeps that tension, again, that positive tension in the body. And you can really see where you've got that restriction in the chest and in the shoulders. If this causes pain or sharpness, please don't do it. There's always more ways to open the shoulders if you know of them. And again, when you start back through center, back at the beginning, the stance of the hands on the strap is the same. We go back to that smaller, more narrow hold, and then as you draw arms up, maybe you need to start to widen that hold. I'm slightly engaging core to maintain my spine and release any tension. Start to think about core as a way to protect the body. It's a great way to maintain balance in the body. Just a couple more times. You can close the eyes, coming into that on your own. Go slowly. We're not in a hurry here. It's not the number of reps that we do. Sometimes even the slower we go, the more benefit we can receive, more information we can gain about our bodies. Maybe even one side more open than the other. Moving through this one more time in silence on your own. Breathing, being in no hurry to finish, but if the strap is out in front of you once again, start to roll through shoulders, up, back, and down. You can start to sway the head gently from side to side, noticing if anything's open for you. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing all the muscles of the face. Notice if there's any gripping in the body. And back through mountain pose, you can just set that strap off to the side. We'll be coming into some half sun salutations. So just starting to build a little bit of heat and think about removing stagnant air, stagnant energy from the body. So it starts in mountain pose, and we want to maintain this shape in mountain pose. So even as we change our orientation to the ground, we don't necessarily want to change the way the spine is. We're changing at other joints, like the knees, as we hinge forward at our hips. And there might be tightness in the backs of the legs, especially at first, so you really want to maintain that bend in the knees and maintain that stability of the spine with core engagement. But also finding fluidity. It's always that balance between effort and ease in these poses. We'll see if Kitty will join us for some half sun salutation. So connecting to the breath. Finishing an exhalation, feel that grounded energy. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up. Think about opening the chest, lengthening. Maybe the gaze lifts, and then keep all that beautiful length as you swan dive down. Again, knees soft here. A deep inhalation, maybe hands to shins, or even thighs. And then exhale, as you fold, you can ground through the feet, soften knees, inhale. Sweeping arms up, keep the arms separate, rooting arm bones and the shoulder sockets, and then exhale, swan dive back down. Inhale, lifting halfway, strong in the core. You can actively draw low belly in and up. Keep that hinging forward, belly to thighs. Inhale, back body strength, core strength, maybe tucking tailbone, stretching the front of the body. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway, shoulders away from ears. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Maybe more of that heart opening back bend. Exhale. Beginning to notice the body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweeping up. We're going to do that just one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, folding, grounding. Inhale, rising. Sweeping arms up, this time palms touching at the top. You can interlace the last three fingers. Point the pointer finger and the thumb. Really grounding through the feet. One more inhalation, and then exhale over to your left side, opening up the right side body. Think about punching the thumbs towards the wall behind you, maybe even lifting gaze slightly. Breathe here. And then inhale back through center, biceps by the ears, belly toned. One more inhalation. And then exhale to the other side. So again, just waking up the spine. This is also a lot of core work. So really grounding through that left foot. Again, think about drawing the thumbs back behind you. Maybe the gaze lifts. And this can be done with a softness. We're not forcing anything. And inhale. Back up. Exhale. Floating arms down. You can roll through wrists, roll through shoulders, releasing tension in the neck. Maybe sway the head gently from side to side. Back through center, mountain pose. Playing with some balance here. So hands can come to the hips. Think about spreading through the toes. That left foot, broadening through the sole of that left foot. So that as you shift the weight to the left foot, you can do that with ease, lifting the right foot away from the earth, flex it, and engage the glutes. As you start to circle through that right leg, find a drishti, a gazing point for the eyes. Make sure the eyes aren't moving. You can circle in the opposite direction, maybe circles getting bigger. Ooh. Circles kicking your cake out. He's left me with an obstacle, a ball on my mat, so that's always fun. Life always throws us these curveballs, even on our practice. Go ahead and release that right foot back down. And you can shake it off, maybe shifting hips a little from side to side. My cat plays fetch, so he just delivered me a ball, so apparently it's time to play. Go ahead and ground through the right foot, spread toes, ground through that foot, shift the weight without kicking the hip out, and think about maintaining that stability from the core as you float the left foot away, drishti in place, right foot flexed, actively engage the outer glutes, actively engage gluteus maximus, the glute behind you, back body, circle in the opposite direction. We're also engaging the glutes on that leg, that's our stabilization leg. So you might be feeling that as well, I know I am. One more time, circling. And then letting the feet go wide. So maybe you need to reposition yourself on your mat depending on how you're oriented to your device. But we're gonna go ahead and angle the toes in slightly, the heels out. That can be really nice if you have some flexibility issues, maybe some tightness in the back body, in the backs of the legs rather. If you have more flexibility, maybe the pinky toe edges of the feet are more in line with the long edges of your mat. So it really does not matter, just kind of see where you're at. And bring your hands to your hips, open the front of the body, open through the chest. And again, core is very active, so we're not tucking or releasing, tilting the tailbone back and sticking out the chest. So really maintaining that mountain pose here. So inhale, find length in the spine, exhale, hinging forward at hips. You might know that you need a block here, or fingertips or palms to the earth. And we're just gonna soften through the knees. Shift the weight from side to side. Back through center. See how much you can bend the knees. Now, it's not a goddess pose, we're still in a forward fold. We're just kind of opening up the hips a little bit more, and then see how much you can lengthen through the legs. Maybe that's your inhalation, the lengthening, and then exhale, sink the hips. Inhale, pressing feet into the earth, lengthen. You can start to think about lengthening in the spine, gazing down. Exhale, just one more time, bending knees. Inhale, lengthen here. And then this time as you exhale, bend the elbows. Elbows hug into the midline towards the body. You're hinging at your hip joints. Inhale, pressing into blocks or the earth. Maybe the spine more parallel to the earth, and then exhale, again, bending elbows. Core is active. Again, we're thinking about that compressive energy. Belly towards thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Just bring awareness into the body. Feet, notice any gripping, spine. One more time, exhale. Inhale. And starting to bend the knees, start to walk hands, heart, and torso towards the right foot as you angle the right toes towards the top of the mat. You can angle the left toes as well, lifting through that back heel. Grounding the palms, sweeping the leg back, and we're in plank. So if this is too much for you right now, you can always lower knees to the earth. So it's up to you. As we play in plank, I want you to start to shift forward and back, opening the toes. Spread through fingers, pressing into fingertips and knuckles, really engaging the core. Maybe even flipping over onto the tops of the toes in your plank. One more time. Shifting back, releasing knees to the earth, let them go wide. Inner big toes touch, rounding the spine. Again, lots of core. Draw the low belly in and up, sinking hips to the heels, nice and slow. Relaxing the forehead to the earth or to stacked hands. In your child's pose. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Even breaths. Starting to draw the palms under the shoulders, up to a tabletop position. Connect to the breath. Inhale, lifting the gaze, lifting the tailbone. Stretching the front of the body. Exhale, rounding the spine. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale. And exhale, rounding. Start to add on to this if it feels good. Circling hips clockwise or counterclockwise, or maybe a little bit of corkscrewing in the spine. What do you need? What does the body need? And circle in the opposite direction. Eventually slowing back down, coming back into that tabletop position, keeping the right palm grounded. Reach the left fingertips towards the right corner of the mat. Inhale. Exhale to sink back, relaxing the right forearm, the forehead to the forearm, and actively reaching along through the left fingertips. Again, we're using that tension to our advantage as you draw the left hip back in space. Use your breath. One more breath. Take your time. It's a mindful coming back to tabletop. Left palm grounds, right fingers reach to that opposite corner. Inhale. Exhale to sink back, actively reaching through the right arm. Forehead relaxes so the neck can relax. Whole head is heavy. Honoring what you need on this side. One more breath. Back through your center, back to your tabletop. We're just going to play a little bit here. So you can start to angle the fingers out, maybe back towards the knees, or just kind of walking them to the side walls, back to the center, maybe even rotating the fingers in. As you rock from side to side, it's just that mindful play of the hands, fingers facing out. One hand moves where the fingers face the knees, then the other, and back to the sides. Then back to that original starting position, and angle the fingers in. You can start to press palms into the earth here, really lengthen through the arms. Then back through center, fingertips facing the front of the room. You can start to flip the palm around, maybe fingers face towards your knees, maybe in towards the midline of the body. That's a good stretch for me, maybe even out towards the outer edges of the room. So all of this work that we're doing, more so on computers, probably now more than ever. Give your wrists, your forearms a little love, and then we can switch to that other side. So really paying attention to the length of the arm. Thinking about stretching those extensor muscles. Those a lot, whether we're conscious of it or not in our technology. And go ahead and flip that hand back around. Curl the toes under, walk your hands back. The feet can go wide, the knees go wide and angle out. We're in a squatted position, the heels can be lifted. And then just softly the backs of the hands to the earth, maybe more of the forearms to the earth as you bow forward. Head heavy. And in this way you can open the neck with gravity, with time, with breath. Gently sway the head from side to side. One more breath. And then flipping the palms back around, start to walk your hands back out. We're back in our tabletop position. Spreading through the fingers, and you can walk the left palm in slightly, almost under heart center. And kickstand that left foot out, maybe angling out more towards the side as you start to extend through the right leg. So you want to be on your mat. You want to use the sticky mat, pinky toe edge of that right foot in line with the back of the mat, so that you're opening up your hips, opening up your shoulders. You can even reach fingertips skyward. So we're going to move a little bit here. Make sure you're very stable here. Take a deep inhalation. And then as you exhale, like you're hugging a beach ball, starting to twist. Maybe even reaching those right fingertips back behind you, and then inhale, find that expansion. Exhale, finding that twist. Inhale to open, reach. Feeling that deeply in my outer right hip, and then exhale, twisting once again. Inhale. Let's do one more time like that. Such a beautiful stretch. Beautiful for balance as well. Inhale. Stay here. Notice where the neck wants the gaze to be. Maybe up towards the sky, maybe across directly, so a more neutral neck, or maybe perhaps down. It just depends on where you're at. One is not better than the other, but start to float the right foot away. So think about really being active in that foot. The heel is in line with the hip. Hip is in line with the shoulder. Again, we're working the outer glute muscles. Go ahead and pulse that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Everything back down to the earth. We're back in our tabletop position. I'm just going to spin around. So the right palm, again, find a way to ground that. That makes sense for your balance. You can kickstand. So I'm actively drawing that right foot out more towards the right side. That allows me to extend my left leg. You can start with the foot grounded. You can start with the hand to the hip. Just notice where that hip is in space. You can feel that action. Then hand to the shoulder, so you know where your shoulder is, and then directly from there, reach skyward. Again, noticing where the gaze wants to go with the neck. Think about lengthening in the spine. Inhale. Exhale, finding that twist. Deep, even breaths. Inhale. Expanding, opening, exhaling. Inhale, finding that stability, that strength. Exhale. Inhale, reaching. Flowing with the breath. Inhale. One last time. Like an accordion movement of the rib cage. Find your strength and stability here. Again, find where your drishti is, wherever your neck feels comfortable. Float the foot. Even if it's floated an inch or so, you can still pulse. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the foot. Release the palm. Child's pose. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Starting to stretch long through the arms. You could still have hips back to heels, but actively reach. Actively draw the hips away from the shoulders. Actively reach the arms out. Gaze to the fingertips. And then shifting the hips forward, keeping that nice long spine as you curl toes under. You can start to pedal out through feet here, bending one knee, then the other. Playing in your down dog, find what works for you. Listen to the body, stretching out the hamstrings, breathing. Great opportunity for a sigh as you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Finding stillness in your downward facing dog. Just one more breath. And from here, engaging core. Again, we're thinking about thighs to the belly. See if you can start to straight leg walk. The feet more towards the wrists. Just kind of see where you land here. You might have to soften the knees, but core is very active. And keep that core active, hands to the hips. Squeeze the elbows, squeeze the shoulders, shoulder blades along the spine and the back body rising. Back through standing. So we're going to stay here in this pose, mountain pose, bringing the hands to the sacrum. It's that fused vertebrae, the lower spine. Think about pressing the sacrum down and just squeeze the elbows together. And then release. And pressing the sacrum down, squeezing, maybe a bit more opening in the front of the body. Let's give you your inhalation and then exhale, releasing. Inhale, putting all of those elements together, maybe a bit more of a heart opening. We're really thinking about lengthening in the spine. Maybe the gaze is more skyward. And the exhale is just the release. Inhale. Relax the jaw, shine the heart. Exhale. One last time. Inhale, really finding that expansion in the front of the body without causing compression in the back body, especially in the low back. And exhale, arms down alongside. You can roll through wrists, you can roll through shoulders. So I find that as we ease into these things and create those elements that create that opening in the body, easing in can create more spaciousness, more safety, more awareness for sure, more benefit. So go ahead and move your 2 blocks to the highest height at the top of the mat. So we're going to play with just a couple of shapes here in the body, moving through our lunge first and then into pyramid pose with elements of balance and elements of twisting. So again, kind of easing in. So starting in mountain pose, arms alongside, shoulders relaxed. We want to keep all of these elements as you bring hands to your hips. Again, think about that squeezing action. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Knees can always soften to find the blocks. So go ahead and keep the left foot grounded as you step the right foot back into a lunge. So that means we're on the ball of the foot. Move the blocks with. You can start to shift forward and back. And start to activate the back body. So activate the back glute, activate the core, activate that front thigh, that quad. Keeping all of that active, maybe it feels safe to bring the hands to the thigh. Maybe it feels safe to release the arms away. Getting a beautiful stretch in that hip flexor psoas on that left side. It might feel good to uplift the arms. Notice how balance comes into play. Keep the eyes steady and breathe. One more inhalation. And then exhale, just hands back to the block. So you can shift that right foot forward, grounding the right heel, drawing the left hip back in space to create space on that left side, and hinging at the hips. Again, we want that compressive quality of belly to thigh. So we want to activate those 2 parts. The quad is active, the core is active. Lengthening in the spine. Finding elements of softness here as well. Let the body open as you breathe, maybe even if it feels safe, closing the eyes.
more breath. We're going to play with balance, so if you need to shorten your stance, by all means. The feet, the legs, the core active, hands to the hips. Again, that squeezing of the back body, the activation of the back body to open the front of the body, shining the heart, lifting the gaze. One more inhalation here. And then as you exhale, you're hinging forward at the hips once again. Finding the blocks once again, finding your lunge once again. So the right hand to the block to the inside of that left foot. Deep bend in that front knee, core active, back leg active, back glute is active. Right hand to the block, I like the second highest height. Bring the left hand to the left hip and just open. Twist a little. See how it feels. Exhale, release. I like to move the block out of the way, just kind of dangle and soften. As you inhale, bringing that left hand to the left shoulder. Spiral and open. Exhale, relax. Inhale, activate. Maybe fingertips reaching to where the wall meets the ceiling. Exhale. Find your stability, your strength in the foundation of the pose. Inhale, twist and open, maybe fingertips more skyward. Action is coming from the core. Spiraling happening in the torso. One last time, inhale, maybe we stay. Just to observe the body, just to be here. I'm actually feeling a deep stretch in my outer glutes. That's usually where I'm tight. One more inhalation. And then exhale, unwinding. You can move the blocks back to the highest height away from you. Frame down through that front foot. Sweep the leg back. Come into down dog. Notice a difference in the legs. Feel that. You can vinyasa here, so inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. First time I always like to do just a baby cobra, checking in with my back body in particular. Exhale, your choice. You can come through child's pose, or you can come into a reset back in your down dog. Again, we want deep breaths. Reground, reset. One more breath. Let's all meet back together in our downward facing dog. Our destination is the top of the mat. How do you want to get there? Maybe you hop. So you can bend the knees, engage the core, see how softly you can land. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, lifting the hips and landing softly. That wasn't very soft, that's okay. Lots of forgiveness today. Back in our forward fold. From here, hands to the hips. Open the heart. We're just going to pause in our mountain pose for a moment, strong and stable. Arms alongside, again, maybe rolling through shoulders, maybe swaying the head. I've been taking these classes out of New York. Oh, I should probably share this website with you. I can't even remember the name of the studio. I'll share it with you by the end of class if I remember it, but that's the beauty of this time as well. We can take classes from all over the world, and I've been taking some out of New York, and I took one last night, and it definitely kicked my butt, so it's incredible. You think you're strong, and you're really good at yoga, and then you are challenged in ways that you haven't been before, so I'm definitely feeling that today. It's a good thing. All right, mountain pose, hands to the hips, open the chest, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, keep all that length. Lead with your heart. Hands to the blocks, right foot grounds, left foot steps. We're finding a lunge, and we're just gonna play with that a little bit here. Maybe you haven't been in a lunge today. Maybe you haven't checked in with that psoas, that hip flexor, the toes, the foot, core. Checking it out. Breathing. Finding your stability here, your strength here. Really activate that back glute, activate the core and the quad. Continue to think about spaciousness in the body, stability here, maybe hands to the thigh. If that's going well, arms alongside. Again, no tension in the low back. We've opened that up a little, but you can always have a lot of grace here. Inhale, maybe sweep the arms up. Relax the shoulders and breathe. We're not looking for perfection, so see where you're at today, just with the body, with the breath. Be present with yourself, be in a relationship with yourself in a way that's meaningful. One more breath. And then releasing hands down, you can shorten the stance just enough to ground the back heel. I'm noticing my right hip is tracking forward, so I want to track it back. I can lengthen through the legs and lengthen through the spine against that compressive energy, belly to thigh, thigh to belly. So core and quad active. Notice where you can soften. Think about the forehead, eventually maybe one day coming to the shin or the ankle. Breathing. I could stay here all day, really beautiful stretch, but we're going to move on. So, in that stance that feels safe and comfortable, if you need to shorten it, by all means, round through the feet. Lengthen the legs, strengthen them, open through the chest, all the core active without tension. Squeezing elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades, punching the back heel down so the back body is engaged so the front body can open safely. Again, it's a lifelong exploration. We don't have to get it all done today. Inhale. Exhale to keep that. Lengthen the spine, keep that active strength in the body. Finding the blocks once again. I'm back in my lunge. Lowering that left block down to the inside of the foot. Right hand to the right hip and twist. Exhale, just relaxing that right arm. Relaxing the torso, and then inhale, right hand to the right shoulder. Activate the left leg. Exhale. Soften, maybe out through the mouth even. Inhale, active. Maybe where the wall meets the ceiling. Notice the core required of you to create this twisting, this wringing out of the spine. Inhale, even more active. Length from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Exhale. Again, lots of core here. Draw the low belly in and up, create space. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Inhale and stay. One more inhalation. Ooh, lots of heat there. Exhale, framing down, that front foot framed, sweeping the leg back. It's your choice. Again, you can vinyasa or just down dog. Or child's pose. Offer yourself what you need here to rest, to connect, to honor yourself. One more breath. And releasing shins to the earth. Go ahead and find your blocks again. Move them back towards you. We're seated on our shins. We want the wrists halfway between the hips and the knees on the blocks at the second highest height. So we're gonna just come through seated in this way. It's Lolasana, it's a pendant pose. The legs, you can think of that as kind of like a dangling pendant, lots of core engagement. Again, we want the compressive quality from the thighs to the belly, so core is very active. And then just see if you can float the legs out in front. Even if it looks messy, it feels weird and cumbersome, the more we do these things, the more you challenge yourself, the better they become. So, lots of core. Draw the low belly in and out, pressing the palms into the blocks. Lift the shins and knees. Come through seated. Yeah, I'm definitely sore from yesterday. It's like an hour and a half handstand workshop. All right. From here, go ahead. Find your strap or your scarf once again. And then finding a straddle shape in your body. Doesn't have to be super wide. It's kind of a comfortable straddle. Toes and knees skyward, so a little bit of activity there. And then finding your strap, just looping that over the ball of the right foot. Now with your left hand, thumb is down, bend the elbow, see if you're going to reach and find the other end of the strap. And then just twist. And breathe. Again, we're thinking about opening up the front of the body, we're opening up into the shoulder. If it feels good, you can start to hinge over that right leg. Again, we want to keep that torso more open. I can press my right forearm into the inner right leg. Releasing any kind of a death grip of the strap, just a nice easy grip, just enough to open. Getting a beautiful stretch in my outer side body. Again, we're just kind of undoing all of the things we've been doing. Sitting maybe more, eating maybe more. It's all about that balance. Opening up the chest more, less compression in the front of the body, more expansion. Let's take one more breath here. And release the strap. Come back through seated, slowly releasing that left arm. Roll through shoulders. And circle through the torso a little bit. Both directions. Back to the other side. So we'll just loop that strap round the left foot. Back through center. Right arm extends out, thumb down, palm facing the wall behind you. You can actively give the strap to that right side. And then left arm presses into the inner left leg. Really just pay attention to the shoulder, pay attention to the chest. How can you open here? Finding that rotational quality in the spine. We've worked that already quite a bit. Maybe hinging forward more towards that left side with keeping the right sit bone very much grounded. Otherwise, we're just chasing the stretch. Doesn't have to be much. You can close the eyes. Maybe a deeper breath is all you need. So we've created some nice heat in the body. We're just taking advantage of that heat by stretching. And the muscles are warm. And the lungs are toned. Opened all the rivers, all the channels of the body, circulation, respiration, lymphatic, so healing. One more breath. And then you can slowly release back through center, relax that right arm out. Again, rolling through wrists, rolling through shoulders, anything that feels good for you here. You can pump the backs of the legs into the earth a little, rocking legs a little back and forth. And then relaxing forward, maybe fingertips or palms to the earth, or you can use your blocks. That was going to be nice to relax into. We're just softening in the body. Let the legs just relax. you're bowed forward and it's comfortable, maybe sway the head, maybe sway the torso. And breathe. One more breath. Palms into the earth or into the blocks, arm strength and core strength. Drawing back to a tall spine, hands underneath the knees or thighs. And then that helps so that you're not activating the muscles of the legs. Draw the legs out in front. You can just, again, pump the backs of the legs into the earth, rocking legs back and forth. And shifting back to a position so that we can begin to make our way back onto our backs. We've got some time before Shavasana, but I always like to set up what I need for Shavasana before I come onto my back. So make sure you have that, any kind of blanket or pillow, maybe an eye pillow. Have that available to you. So we're thinking about that compressive quality of the thighs to the belly. Knees bent, feet planted. Can you bring inner big toes to touch, heels to plant together, and inner knees squeeze together? Draw the low belly in and up and see how much compressive quality you can get thighs to the belly. And so from here, you can keep that, rock back slightly. Shins can be more parallel to the earth, arms alongside. Lifting the left arm, and relax that back down. Arm parallel, lifting the right arm. Inhale and exhale. Lifting that left leg. Extend through the leg, point the toes, shin back to the parallel to the earth, and the right leg. Inhale, exhale. Maybe everything. Again, compressive quality, thigh to belly. Inhale here, then exhale all the way back onto the back. Lengthening out, arms long, legs long. You can spread through fingers and toes. Take a nice stretch in the front of the body, releasing any of that compression. Maybe a sigh in through the nose and then releasing out through the mouth. Arms float down alongside the body, just gentle baby bridge, lifting hips up, lengthening the spine, tuck the tailbone. And we want that expansion across the front of the body. Pressing feet into the earth, pressing shoulders into the earth. Tuck the tailbone, lengthen the spine, inhale, and then exhale, riding the breath down. It's all of that core energy releasing. Tailbone releases to the mat last. Our knees into the chest, extending arms out to a T, releasing legs to the right side, gaze over to the left. Just melting into the earth. Relax into the face, the jaw, the lips, the neck. Arms, shoulders, the heart opening. One more breath. Gazing skyward. You can draw the knees skyward and then over to the other side. So finding that twist with legs to the left, gazing to the right. And softening into the ribs. Belly soft. Low back relaxing. Legs easing towards the earth. Relaxing all the way down the legs through the feet and toes. One more breath. Keeping this relaxed quality as you draw the knees back up through center. You can hug them in, maybe a little rock here, or anything else that you need to finish your practice, to feel complete in the practice. You can come into a happy baby.
or just make your way into Shavasana. It's important that we rest for a moment. Just think about, again, all of those rivers, those channels of the body, they've opened, and we want all that beautiful energy to just relax, just to flow into the body as we're in this relaxed state. It's healing. Think about bathing all of the cells with this rejuvenated prana, this life force. Finding a way to be comfortable, to feel spacious in the body. As you close your eyes and simply rest. You can continue to rest here if you've got the time, if you need that for rejuvenation. Or you can begin to deepen the breath, creating slow, soft movements in the body with the fingers, with toes, ankles and wrists, arms stretching overhead, full body stretch. Bending one knee, then the other, planting feet. Rolling gently to either side, curling into a fetal position. And taking something with you from this practice. What do you need now? Maybe a new intention. Bring this renewed energy, vitality, and awareness into the rest of your day. Share this practice with others. Share the best version of yourself with others. And keep eyes closed or a soft gaze as you begin to press up slowly, mindfully through seated. Rooting through sit bones once you arrive, and then just finding a taller spine, a more open heart. Hands to the heart in gratitude for this practice, for its gifts, and for yourself. Giving yourself a deep inner bow for keeping this commitment to yourself. I'm grateful for the honor to lead and guide you through this practice. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Friday.